Yeah, we got all chicks now and everything.
The county emergency management directors from.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for taking the time to be here. This is something that we do every year, but we never take it for granted. What we have done with all the leaders you see behind me is talk about what would happen should there be not just a hurricane, a winter storm, just any disaster that could hit South Carolina. And because we're coming on hurricane season, we saw we already had a tropical storm early. And so every year we take on a different aspect. We started out initially the first year just focusing on state functions. Then last year, for instance, we took on county functions, making sure communication was good. This year we've looked at our state's most vulnerable. We've looked at transportation. We've looked at population increases. We've looked at how we would handle it with the federal, not just pre-landfall, but post-landfall. Housing has been a big conversation that we're having now, as well as what we would do should we evacuate people and how we would get them in temporary housing. So these are all issues that we hope we never have to deal with, but are also issues that we want to make sure that should we have to do this, we're very well prepared. I want to thank General Livingston as well as Kim Stinson with EMD, all of our agency directors and all of our partners here. The local EMD directors are always fantastic and amazing to work with at every situation that we've ever had to deal with, whether it was fires or winter storms or hurricanes. But again, this is Team South Carolina at work. This is us making sure that we are all hands on deck should there be an issue. And again, we want to remind everybody, hurricane season is coming. And we want you to take the opportunity to make sure you have a hurricane plan. Make sure you have all of your special paperwork in a certain area. Make sure that you know what your evacuation routes are. A lot of people don't know where they're going to evacuate. And don't just work out with your direct family members, but your extended family members. Find out what you're going to do if there's any relatives in nursing homes. That's a lot of what we talked about today, was to make sure we handle that. Pets, how you handle your pets, where they go. So as we have these conversations at the state level and at the county level, we hope that you'll have it at the residential level as well for your businesses and for your homes, so that all South Carolinians are always taking the precautions that they need. Now I will turn it over to General Livingston, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Thank you, Governor. Just want to reemphasize the Governor's points. We are prepared as Team South Carolina to respond to disasters as they occur, but that individual preparation is very key, and I encourage you to go to the South Carolina Emergency Management website, download all the information that's available to help your family plan, because it is a team effort throughout South Carolina to respond to disasters.
One of the things that we do every year is we publish, in this case, the 2015 Hurricane Guide, and General Livingston mentioned also the Governor. This information is available, it will be available the first week of June in all the newspapers, basically from the coast back to the Midlands. It'll also be available at Walgreens. It'll also be available at coastal DMV offices as well. So this is chock full of information, and it's also downloadable on our website at the General Livingston just mentioned. And it's not just things that you need to do maybe for a hurricane. You can use it for all hazards. So our website has a lot of information. It has this, and as individuals and businesses, we need to maybe pay attention, obviously, and prepare ourselves for any event, not just hurricanes. Thanks.
And with that, we've got our county EMD directors behind us as well, but if there are any questions for any of us, we'll be happy to answer them.
Governor, what is something that from 5 years ago to now, what are some things that you've come to appreciate more about emergency preparedness?
I think that, all of the directors have stepped up, taking into account just population differences over the last few years, but also making sure the shelters are in place. One thing that we talked about today that's very important is we've talked about transportation and how to move people out of an area if we needed to. Today we actually talked with Superintendent Spearman about how we could put more procedures in writing. Which buses would go, who would be the drivers, how would we get them there? Focusing on making sure we're doing everything we can for our nursing homes and hospitals. Generators, that became a big conversation point during the winter storm. So I can honestly say every year we've gotten stronger as a state to deal with these, but every year we also see the vulnerabilities change a little bit. So as we're seeing storm surges are getting stronger, populations are getting bigger, we want to make sure that everybody is educated. And that's the part that I think we hope that we continue to improve every year is messaging. Messaging is going to always be key if we're dealing with a situation like this. Okay, thank y'all very much. Have a great day. Thank you for taking the heavy hitters. It's good to see you. We're gonna be talking all this next week, so.
Y'all don't talk much.
Thank
We'll
you.
stay in touch.
Yes, we will. You and I are gonna be best friends this week. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thanks for all you do. We appreciate it. Let us know if you need anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We're ready.
We're ready to.
Not just that, yeah, we're ready. Good to see you. I'm Bob Livingston. Good to see you. Yes, sir.
Hey, Brandon. Thanks.